Welcome to
Unfiltered Growth.
Real Talk on Trends and Strategies. This podcast is your weekly dose of reality-checked wisdom.
As we explore the intersection of entrepreneurship, marketing, culture, business, and innovation.
We strip away the BS and dive into real challenges and opportunities for revenue growth.
With a sharp, unfiltered lens.
Expect raw conversations, real success,
and failure stories,
and practical advice that you can apply to your journey.
No filters,
just growth.
New month. Halfway of the year is gone for 2024. We survived the halfway mark somehow.
But did we?
To be determined.
Kinda.
To be continued.
We're alive, so we survived.
We're still talking on these mics, so we ain't gone yet. How we feeling?
We're not. Good. I'm excited for June, and I'm so excited for the Olympics. I used to have like parties when I was a kid for the Olympics. I love, and it's specifically gymnastics. As a kid, I loved it, and so I'm super excited for this year for the squad we have for the USA women's team. They're pretty stacked, and I love that they're very diverse. And I think it's the first time that two all-around champs are on the same team going to the Olympics. I could be wrong, but I think
so. Well, then we got
correct.
Suni Lee, Jade Carey, Jordan Childs, Hesley Rivera, and the GOAT, Simone Biles.
Yeah, yep.
She's got
and her husband's gonna be names there, which is so
shout out to the Green Bay Packers.
He got excused from summer summer camp. Yeah. I said summer league, but yeah, summer camp.
NBA has gone crazy.
Camp. Summer camp, almighty.
NBA has gone crazy. At least you keep Donovan Mitchell. I did not expect that. I didn't expect a lot of things.
I didn't expect him to stay.
I didn't expect Clay to go, but here we are, my poor Warriors. I'm just depressed right now, but it's okay. The glory years.
I don't have any sympathy for them, so whatever. Move on.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see what the Bears and the Browns do this year. That's all we care about now.
Yeah. So I mean, it's also see what they don't do. Either way, we love them, so it's all good.
I feel like
Chubb's gonna be healthy again. So
besides people who bet nowadays, I'm like, how do you tie that same kind of mentality into the business world? Because it's like we're never off, really. We never really get an off season per se in most industries. And it's just kind of like
you have peak seasons, though.
You do.
And you have like those seasons that especially like e-com and stuff like that. You do have, but you don't have like off seasons. But you have like your crazy seasons, especially like marketing budget seasons, and like when people are wanting to use it all, everything like that. But it's good to prepare for that and have your team stacked for that operationally, and really know where you sit so you can be at the forefront of your busiest season.
And this is the time where everyone fills out their rosters and fills out their squads. And as we all know, to win any type of championship, you just can't have a ton of highly expensive all-stars who think they know it all, very talented. You need the best right combination of role players. And specifically, everyone knows their role, knows where they're good at, know where their weaknesses are, and have people who can navigate their blind sides. But I would bear to think that a lot of executives and CEOs and startup leaders who get, shiny syndrome and pick one or two high-class people, pay them a lot of money and weaponize that and saying, you should be able to do all of these things because I'm paying you enough money. It's like, yes, thank God you added another zero. I'm still a human with 24 hours in a day as in a life. I can't just take on 10 more campaigns, 10 more clients, whatever, insert whatever.
And I also think, too, if you think about it, in the Olympic athlete, they are, most of them, I will say, are naturally gifted. They've started that training when they were like 2 or 3. So if you think about that as your team on a business, they ain't starting being RevOps experts at 3 years old. Like that's just not how it is. Let's be real. I mean, maybe like nowadays with like TikTok and some kid runs through some RevOps on their feed because of their parent, but that's the anomaly. That's just not happening. So you also have to be on that coach's mindset as if you're hiring, if you're building a team, like a team that you already have, that you are building for them to like grow to their strengths and like flex their muscles and be able to make mistakes, but be able to coach them in a way that makes them feel like they can be like almost like freestyle with it to flex their muscles and make those mistakes and take those risks. Because I'm sure that coaches, when they're making routines for like Simone, for instance, she has one of the hardest skills. That's a risk that yes, she's able to do it, but the pressure on the mat in front of hundreds of thousands of people, that's a little different, but she's also mentally trained for that. So you have to be able to do that for your team as well, to perform that way in that mindset.
And kudos to you for spotlighting that, because it's not just, if we're tying the parallels, not just your talent, your training, your years of experience, how's your mental fortitude? And also, how are you giving people grace? If they know that if they make a mistake, it's not the end of the world and they're off the team immediately, then there's more freedom. They feel more free. There's more trust. I mean, let's see here. Suni got hurt. She wasn't sure if she was going to come back after what she had to navigate and health things and all this, so she had to navigate and get through. But she proved herself and gave back, and people gave her that grace to do that. Simone Biles. Everyone's like, what's the twisties? And oh my goodness, she's done all these things. She should always hit it 100% of the time. Yes, she's the GOAT, but even the GOAT needs a minute. Even the GOAT needs to take a break.
The GOAT needs to graze. Okay, the GOAT needs to graze.
Come on now. She sure was grazing. But that also shows you how everyone needs rest. And if you're top-heavy business and you're leaning on one or two people to run your whole RevOps, your whole just business overall, at some point it's going to break because you put everything on these people. And that's also show why you should diversify, not only literally diversifying, but diversifying the responsibilities and giving people the opportunity to train, improve themselves, and make mistakes and get back up and do it again. But, people don't think that far in advance. They just want the win right now. We don't care if you break down after the Olympics. We just want you to win right now. And that's it. I'm like, I have all the rest of this year. We were just talking about peak season. We got through peak season, whether that's, Black Friday, that's the holidays, that's, physical year, whatever the case might be for you in this analogy. And you're like, okay, we're good, whatever. But now everything's broken now because you pushed everyone too hard in that peak season period. And we had no time to reset. And that's not good either. That's not good logistics or operations at all.
And that really goes along with, and I think it was Allie who said this quote, and I was reading an article, so if I butcher it, I'm sorry, but she said, you can't always be perfect, but you can always be better. And in my mindset, when it comes to like business and sports or really life, beyond relationships, whatever it is, you ain't gonna be perfect. Sorry to tell you, it just ain't gonna happen. If you are, that's boring. But you always can be better. And if you think about that in like that growth mindset, the operational mindset, the agile mindset, you can always be better. And you can have these great RevOps plans. You can have these great synergies between cross-department alignment and all these great buzzwords we love. But you can always do better and learn from what you're creating by listening to your people, and not just your RevOps leaders, your CS ops, sales ops, marketing ops. You need to also listen to the people who are using their operational processes, because yes, they could be an expert in that, but they're not the one doing it. So you need to create that process of trust to be able to pivot and be better as well. And that's really in anything you do in life.
We know the names of the Michael Phelps of the world and all the Katie Ledecky, who is still dominating. Oh my gosh. It's just, I love the Olympics, y'all. I love the Olympics. It's just,
I know, me too.
It's a whole thing. But you see these names and like one day they won't be as dominant, or they're going to have to pass the torch. And I think we
no
get by and we think, USA all the way. We want to win everything. Let's get all the golds and all the medals that we want to get. No cursing here. But I
No, you
think
said no pun intended for the torch, like passing the torch, literally Olympic torch.
I follow. I thought I said something. I'm like, oh, I did not jinx the USA. You were not gonna come on the show and blame me while we don't win gold. Not gonna be. They're gonna pull me out. Find this sound clip. Not all of our clips, the other clips. I'm like, no. But I think with all the different people, you're not passing the torch around. Doesn't make sense. Like I'm looking at here now. Quincy Wilson. He's 16 years old. Qualified for track and field. What's it? Don't know which one right now. But the relay race. And I'm like, imagine if you're holding on to just these names for so long that you're not creating a window for new people to come in. And like you said, not everyone has the experience, but sometimes they're so talented and they have so much zeal and they have so much purpose and intentionality what they bring to the table. You got to let them just go and do their thing. Sometimes you got to shake it up a bit. And it's not enough to look at the margin of what we're trying to get. It's like, are we trying to be sustainable? I'm like, I want Team USA to come out every time, not just this one time. And then it's like, all right, whatever. And I think that's the beauty of the Olympics, because we can marvel at the talent, but also the discipline and the commitment and the sacrifice for this one moment. The guy said, I trained 4 years for 50 seconds in the pool.
Seconds.
That's it. 50 seconds training for 4 years for 50 seconds. Crazy.
And if you think about that too, it's what's your goal? What are you training for? And the moments that you have are much larger than 50 seconds. But if you think about it, if it's a cold call, if it's an email, it's almost less time than that. So you have to think about that in that sense of training your team for those micro moments to get them to gold, to pass them to that next person or get that closed win or closed won opportunity.
That was beautiful. You brought that on home. You brought that. I'm having a moment. Did we coordinate outfits? We have a similar color scheme going on today. Yep. Like, how did we do that?
It says, eat your veggies, go outside, and support women.
Mine says blank, but it could be whatever you want it to be.
It says blank. I love it.
I co-signed the entire shirt for sure. That's what we're all about here. Oh my gosh.
Thanks.
But I think
so funny. Okay,
random. If you could be an Olympian, what sport would you do in the Summer Olympics?
Gymnastics. 100% gymnastics.
No,
I think it's close to like the dance and like cheer world. Probably gymnastics. If not gymnastics, soccer. Like I loved Mia Hamm growing up. Like Bernie Chastain. Those were my girls. And gymnastics. It was that whole like 1996 team. I think Atlanta. They were my fave. One I love, but that was like growing up. Those were like my idols per se. What event would you compete in, Troy?
I feel like I have to go stereotypically basketball just because that's just been conditioned from social status per se. But I would probably do the 3-on-3. I wouldn't do I'd probably do the 3-on-3. But in another alternative, I would love to be a swimmer. I would just be like, yes, let's just. The pressure in that case is just so intense. Any wrong movement, wrong dip or turn, you're off a little bit on your stroke. I'm like, yeah, I'll try to do something, but I'll probably play it safe at 3-on-3 because I'm sure there's people who are listening like, you can't swim like them. I didn't say I could. I just said if I could be an Olympian. I mean, I wish I could flip over like Simone Biles, but I can't do a somersault half the time. So,
I mean, well, Simone has a great quote. I think she said it last year, and she was like, "I'm not trying to be the next Michael Phelps. I'm the first Simone Biles." And so you're the first Troy Sandage. So have that mindset.
Wow. Thank you, Christina. Speaking life into all of us. You are all the first you. And there's no one who could be anywhere like you. You're the only DNA that you have. Unless you're a twin. Then I don't know what to tell you.
You share something a little bit, yeah. And then, in businesses, it's think about it in the sense of competitive stuff. If you're just like so focused on your competitor, you don't want to be like them. You just want to beat them. So
Ooh.
don't try to like be exactly like them. Otherwise, people will see that and they'll get confused, and you don't want that. You want to stand out. So be the first you.
And with that, we out.
Ooh. Go USA team. Woo.
USA. USA as it fades out. USA.
Yeah, exactly.
And that wraps up another episode of Unfiltered Growth. Make sure you subscribe, rate,
with 5 stars,
and leave us a review.
Remember, growth doesn't happen in isolation. Join our community of bold thinkers and doers on social media and stay connected.
Don't forget to go to season3media.com/podcast for strategy or event inquiries, resources, or to just chill with us.
Until next time, keep pushing boundaries, embracing diversity, and never stop growing. This is Christina and Troy signing off. And remember,
no filters,
just growth.